Hello, this is Diane Roberts from scoreitforwardandaquarter.blogspot.com, and I'm taking a little different approach to showing you how I made a particular card today. What I did today was use a new stamp from Stampin' Up. No, we didn't use these. Here's my process. I start with a few ideas, or one idea that I think is going to carry me a certain way, and it never does. So let me get the stamp set, which is called, it's a wood set, so I know it's here somewhere. I just had it in my hands. Here we are. I'm sorry. Oops. Hi, Zuzu. Okay, start again. Here is a stamp set called Proud as a Peacock. And here it is, new stamp set from Stampin' Up. Let me stand it up right there. I'll take a peek at it. It's gorgeous. I love it. And I decided that was the stamp I was going to use today. And I've been, as you can see on my desk, had a lot of things going on. I stamped the peacock with Memento ink on Whisper White and colored it a few times, trying to figure out exactly how a peacock should be colored. As you can see, there are also flowers in the stamp, and I'm never good with color. If you ever see my cards, I'm usually monochromatic or black and white. So I took my trusty color coach. I showed you that one other time this week. Well, here we go. I determined that I would use Tempting Turquoise as my cardstock because turquoise is what I think of when I think of a peacock. So I looked up Tempting Turquoise in my color coach and found that good colors to use with Tempting Turquoise would be Real Red and Tangerine Tango. Well, then I thought I would be doing all this coloring with my blendabilities. But of course, even though I have all the colors that the demonstrators are allowed to have these days, I didn't really have turquoise or red or what was it? Tangerine Tango. So I substituted, hoping I could. There was some cherry cobbler blendabilities. I used some greens because there were leaves on those flowers. I used the pumpkin pie thinking, that might be close enough. And I used Coastal Cabana. So Old Olive, Coastal Cabana, cherry cobbler, pumpkin pie. I thought I used some daffodil. Yes, I had to because I think this is Daffodil Delight. Yeah, and the Daffodil Delight. So those were the colors I used to color my peacock and flowers. I had a large piece of, I had a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of white, and I stamped my peacock and began coloring. But just the triangular piece on the turquoise just didn't do enough. So then I cut out. Here's how I colored them. And then I cut out the peacock, but that wasn't good enough. And then I did it again, and that wasn't good enough. So what I ended up doing, which is a little different for me, I used the Gorgeous Grunge and spotted up, put some water spots in the Tempting Turquoise in my background. I colored the flowers with pumpkin pie and the cherry cobbler colors and the Old Olive greens. Pardon my dogs. We have a woodchuck in the garden, and he's come out this afternoon. So the dogs have been going crazy. And so my plan is to just stick this little peacock on top of this card, but what I did after I colored, I don't know if you can tell, I put Crystal Effects See the crystal effects? Well, here you can see a close-up of what I've colored. I used some of the Old Olive, and I used a Daffodil Delight, and I used a Coastal Cabana. Whoa, this thing's popping. I really don't want to disrupt the crystal effects because I just dabbed them on and I'm waiting for them to dry. And when they do, I'll superimpose this peacock on top of the other peacock, and I'll add a sentiment, and then I'll come back and show you the result. The other reason I wanted to show you this messy room is because this is what happens. Well, at least with me, this is what happens. I begin to craft and scissors come flying and glues and coffee. Of course, there's coffee cups and there's dirty stamps. I found out a good way to clean off the top of my stamping pads get a little fuzzy, and I think it's because sometimes we use baby wipes, especially like in workshops, and then if you restamp on the ink, once a stamp has been cleaned with baby wipes, I think they leave lint. So today I cleaned this off, and you can see those blobs, that little lint blobs. So lint roller, stamp pads works. Blender pens, everything. And here's where I was. There's the Gorgeous Grunge. These are pads I use to stamp on. Nice and spongy. Sometimes it's helpful. So that's my process. It's quite sloppy. But what I will be doing in the meantime, I'll be waiting for these crystal effects to dry. And then when they do, I will be back with the finished product. Thanks for looking at my mess. Hopefully it's familiar to you. Probably, I don't see any way around doing this. Okay, happy stamping, and I'll show you the finished product in a little bit.